I see what ho, chaps and chappets, game chap and Bertie here.
Yes.
Indeed, fellows, and I dare say we are now discussing here RYU's possible moveset for his potentially upcoming appearance in Super Smash Bros. On Wii U and 3DS.
Most certainly. Now, if you've seen our previous video, you will know that RYU, well, there's been some big rumours that RYU will actually appear in the game in the future.
That's right, of course, we don't have anything concrete for sure, but sound files have been discovered in the 3DS version of Super Smash Bros. Which strongly suggest that RYU might be making an appearance in the future, possibly as DLC. So we're saying here, right, that's all very well and good, but what would RYU actually do in Smash Bros?
Exactly. What would RYU do? That's
exactly.
The thing. What would his moves be? How would he move? What would his sort of up jumps and whatever else he does be?
That's right, and of course I think the first place you would have to start with any moveset is his standard A move, i.e. his standard punch.
Right, okay, so we'll show you these, and we're actually going to use this footage here you can see here to actually show you what it looked like at the time.
That's right, using a fighting game engine here to demonstrate what these moves might look like in Super Smash Bros. Now, of course, as for his A move, his basic punch should be, of course, his jab from Street Fighter. Now, in Super Smash Bros., characters don't usually just punch, they normally have some kind of combo attack on the standard A, so perhaps RYU should have a light punch flurry leading to his medium punch finisher.
Yes, it's sort of quick, boom, 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 and then bang, sort of thing. Yes.
That's right, which knocks him away, of course, as is the habit of Smash Bros.
Sorry, yes, that would be an A move then.
That's right, the regular A, of course.
Right, regular A, yes.
Then, of course, moving on to his down tilt, or D tilt, that's what happens when you hold down and press A. I think that should be his medium-low kick from his Street Fighter game.
Right, as demonstrated there then, yes, medium-low kick.
Nothing too strong, perhaps medium or low to medium damage, nothing too heavy there, being, of course, just a down tilt.
So that would be, as you say, the down tilt. Now, for those out there who aren't sure what that is, what is down tilt?
Well, of course, as I said there, that's what happens when you hold down and press the A button. Not a down smash, the down tilt.
All right,
then, of course, for his forward tilt, that should perhaps be in Street Fighter, his forward and medium kick move, which, as you can see there, is actually a small mid-air spin, so it gives him a bit of momentum there, similar perhaps to certain other characters who also gain momentum with their forward tilts.
Yes, indeed. Little spin there and a little kick, a little bit more effective perhaps than just a standard jab.
Indeed. Of course, the range on that forward tilt shouldn't be too high in Smash Bros, otherwise it might be a bit OP, but all the same, that's our idea for the forward tilt. Then his up tilt, and again, that's what happens when you hold up and press A, should be his regular medium kick from Street Fighter. There you go.
So a medium kick, and yes, so how would that... I'm just thinking, I just thought, what would he wear? Would he wear his standard garb there?
Yes, I think so, and I do believe his other alternative palette outfits in the original game should be his old costumes in Smash Bros, along with perhaps people like Evil RYU, etc. and so forth.
Right, so there we are, the old up tilt there, medium kick.
That's right, perhaps the medium kick there. Of course, RYU in the original game doesn't actually have any moves where he holds up and presses A to get a sort of high kick. It doesn't quite work like that, so we're having to reuse some of his moves. Reuse moves,
yes,
if you will.
Indeed. Well, yes.
So anyway, his F smash, or forward smash attack, that's his strong forward attack being the smash there, should be his heavy punch from Street Fighter, I think.
Ah, yes, the classic heavy punch, yes. I don't see why they can't sort of put that from one game to the other. I think it fits quite well with the heavy punch, bangs forward there.
That's right, it is quite similar to Little Mac's forward smash, of course, being a straight lunge there, as it were, a forward punch. Now, of course, he could charge that in Super Smash Bros., whereas he couldn't in Street Fighter.
Most certainly, and just talking about Little Mac, because I was thinking that earlier, and with all these punching moves, of course, which RYU does an awful lot of those, could it be perhaps too much like Little Mac? But I don't think so, because, of course, Little Mac doesn't kick.
Well, and he also doesn't have a fireball, you'll see.
He doesn't have a fireball either.
We'll get to that in just a moment. Then RYU's down smash should be his heavy low kick. That's his spinning trip kick, a very famous move, of course, from Street Fighter, where he crouches down and does that spinning kick on the ground. And again, that could be charged in this game.
Most certainly, yes, indeed. And I think a longer range on that one than the early one we were looking at a minute ago.
That's
the
right.
Medium low kick.
Longer range, higher power, but of course slower to start up and cool down. Meanwhile, his up smash should be his heavy kick, again from Street Fighter, which packs quite a punch.
Yes, indeed. The heavy up smash kick there, connecting with the chin, should do a fair amount of damage, I would think.
But I don't think that heavy kick should have a huge amount of vertical knockback. I think that one should be ideally perhaps moderate knockback. I think his main killing move should perhaps be the F smash, although I'm not entirely decided on that at this moment.
Yes.
Meanwhile, his dash attack should be quite an interesting one from Street Fighter, being, of course, his forward and heavy punch move, which, of course, causes him to gain some distance and jab the opponent's gut, you'll see. Rather powerful there.
Most certainly, yes. I think all of those from the punching side of things certainly seem to work and I would fit. Don't know what the chaps and chapettes think out there, but I think they would fit quite well in Smash Brothers, and I think the whole character would fit quite well in there.
We've got his classic punches and his classic kicks in the game there. Now, we have to remember with Ryu that he packs quite a punch, but he is not the fastest character by any means. In fact, his speed is only medium, but as I say, he does hit quite hard to make up for that. Meanwhile then, of course, moving on to his aerial moves. His neutral aerial is a lasting kick similar to Mario's, as you can see here.
Yes, indeed, an interesting air kick there, and one which I think could be effective in the game.
Quite effective, of course. It lasts quite a long time, but typically those kicks don't see an awful lot of use in Smash Brothers, but it should be there all the same. His down air should be a downward punch, which was his light punch in midair, which perhaps would have a meteor effect in Smash Brothers.
Oh yes, indeed, yes, I think that would perhaps work. Downward punch, light punch in the air, as you say, and then with a meteor effect, yes indeed.
That's right, his upward air, meanwhile, is an upward kick. Quite hard to show here, but you can see him just about making the upward kick move there. Whilst, meanwhile, similar to the down air, his forward aerial is also a forward punch, which is his medium punch in Street Fighter in the air.
Yes indeed. And of course for the back air there, perhaps a mini Tatsumaki, a light kick variant.
That is of course right, a Tatsumaki in fact. That's right. That of course is the Japanese name of his spinning kick move. He can do a mini one of those in mid-air, so perhaps that could be his back kick move, dishing out perhaps some quite good knockback there, I think.
Yes, I think that would be a rather good idea. So we've covered there just looking at the punches, and of course the kicks, how they work, the air, etc. so forth, and I think they seem to fit together quite well.
Yes.
But what about those special moves? Let's look at those.
The special moves, of course, the exciting and fun ones, that's right. His B move, if you ask me, it wouldn't have the down forward motion, but it should of course be the Hadouken Fireball, which should be in Super Smash Bros. Chargeable up to the Shinku Hadouken variant, if you ask me.
So you can charge it right all the way up there then, to that variant you just spoke of.
That's
right. To give them, extra power, extra kickback.
Yes, of course, that was originally a special move in Street Fighter, of course, but this being Smash Brothers, the mechanics are slightly different, so it won't be exactly the same. Perhaps he could charge that up, but of course, with chargeable moves, you have to have enough time, of course, to charge the move, otherwise you might get sent flying in the process.
Well, that's true, so that's B. What about up B?
Well, I don't think you have to have a brain surgeon's degree to work out what that would be, old chap. The Shoryuken, of course. And if performed on the ground, I think the Shoryuken should be chargeable, okay, to perhaps one of the more powerful variants. Not in midair, of course, but on the ground he could charge up and go for that yellow glow around him. Pow! Like that.
Well, I think that would be a rather good idea. Chargeable is another, yes indeed, good idea. Whether they would actually put all of these variants in the game or perhaps just one, we don't know, but we're just suggesting to you what could be happening, what could happen.
And since the last video, I've worked out how to say his spinning kick maneuver, so here goes. His down B should be Tatsumaki Senpyokek.
Tatsumaki Senpyokek.
I think that's right, actually. I
think
Bertie actually had it better than I did there. The spinning kick should be chargeable also. Thank you, Bertie. Yeah. The spinning kick should also be chargeable to a Shinku variant once more, a bit like the Hadouken Fireball and, of course, the Shoryuken.
Yes, indeed. Yes, rather good idea.
And perhaps the down B also could be used to gain him some horizontal momentum for recovery purposes.
Yes, indeed. Of course, what they won't want to do is to put too difficult moves in there. In other words, very, very hard to initiate moves.
Right.
As Street Fighter, some of those you have to be rather clever on the old keyboard or on the old pad there to get them to work.
Okay, exactly. That's a very good point Bertie just raised there, because of course in Super Smash Bros., at least what we're thinking for the character here, he won't have a super bar. Now, Little Mac does have a power bar, but the super bar is quite difficult and confusing, and of course we already have the super move in Smash Bros. In the form of the final smash. Indeed. So perhaps a super bar would not be necessary for Ryu in this game.
May not be, no indeed. And so what about the old side B there? What could we do for that one?
Well, of course, Ryu doesn't necessarily have a fourth move that is commonly known, but I think the Excel combo would be a good idea for his side B. Now, this is quite a technical move. What it does, it increases the speed and combo potential of all of his attacks for a few seconds, while simultaneously reducing attack power and resulting in a cooling off period afterwards, wherein Ryu is temporarily slower and vulnerable. Now, he can't use special moves while Excel combo is active, but it is nonetheless a good chance to rack up some decent damage with some lightning-fast combo attacks.
Well, it is. So sort of special attributes we're looking at there. And do we really already see perhaps those with Shulk? He's got sort of special attributes, hasn't he?
Well, of course he does. He has the Monado's power there, which changes to different modes. So perhaps Ryu could activate Excel combo mode to give him an edge at the crucial moment in battle. But of course, the risk being that the cooldown time could stab him in the back afterwards.
Well, yes, indeed. I suppose it could be careful there then.
That's right. Now, of course, as regards taunts, Ryu does have a wide variety of taunts at his disposal, all of which suit his character and personality quite well, as you can see here.
Ah, yes, the old taunts, and I think, once again, they'd work quite well in Smash Bros. Whether they want to change those, or vary them slightly, I suppose they could if they wanted to.
Well, they could, I suppose. Of course, his entry poses and his win poses are all already covered in Street Fighter, rather, and they could make the nice transition there to Smash Bros. Quite smoothly, I think. But, of course, the one we've all been waiting for. What is his final smash?
Ah, the final smash! Now, what could it all be? No doubt the chaps and chapettes out there have an idea.
Yes.
But perhaps the evil RYU transformation.
Well said indeed. Perhaps RYU could transform temporarily into evil RYU before unleashing his ultimate move there, or perhaps even the dreaded Shun Goku Satsu. But I think the Hadouken, as you can see, is quite a special move there in the form of its, well, it's quite spectacular, and it does a large amount of damage to that health bar.
So it's a big charge up of some form of energy ball, then released with great vigour and fervour.
That's right, it would sweep across the stage rather like Samus's one, and after using that he temporarily dropped to his knees after having exerted so much energy before reverting back into regular RYU.
Ah, yes, interesting. I suppose it's the final smash, he doesn't have to worry too much about that.
Well, indeed, that's right, but there you have it, fellows. That is our proposed moveset for RYU in Super Smash Bros. I dare say he'd make the transition to this game quite well.
Well, I think so, yes, indeed. And with the that sort of secret, if you like, file found there in the workings and the gubbins and all that of the coding, there's a good chance perhaps he may indeed be coming along. And if he does, well, we think that's a rather good moveset for him. What do you think? Do you even want him there?
Well,
and
indeed.
If you do want him there, do you think this would be a good moveset for him?
What do you think, fellows? Perhaps the dev team are working on his moves right now, so we'll just have to wait and see what they come up with. But perhaps this little preview here might give us an idea of what to expect.
Yes, get the old saliva running.
Yes, indeed. Well, perhaps not, old chap, but anyway, this hasn't even Game Chap and Buddy then, bringing you a possible moveset for RYU. Thank you, Miss Connie, for joining us, and we look forward to see you once more on the next exciting outing, guys. Until then.